have seen claims or maybe the events where the entire data of the organization was compromised, which not only resulted in a lot of reputational risk but a lot of financial risk also, right? So in coming times, I believe the consequences of climate change is going to be a massive, massive risk.
Hi everyone, welcome to IL Cafe Season 2 Strategic View. I am your host Aarti Kapri for this episode. As Warren Buffett said, risk comes when we are not knowing what you're doing. Risk is an inherent part in any business. It has economic, competitive, and technological factors. The business should not just navigate them, they should also overcome them to stay ahead. To explore on business risk, we have with us Mr. Sunny Bhardwaj, who is the National Head of Broking, Insuretech and Affinity at ICICI Lombard. He has 17 years of experience in insurance and wealth of knowledge and expertise. So, Sunny, how excited are you about this podcast and what have been your journey in this insurance industry?
Thank you, Ardi, for the lovely introduction. I am super excited for the podcast because I believe in the coming times, this podcast is going to add a lot of value to our viewers. We will have our super subject experts coming in the following episodes, and they are going to bring a lot of wealth of information with them and also guide our customers and partners on their risk management journey. Talking about my journey in insurance, I believe we all are really fortunate that we work in an industry which is giving so much back to the society, because you see what happens, we come into the picture when people are at their lowest, right? Somebody has lost his property, somebody has lost someone in the family, because they have a lot of emotion and financial burden, and that is when we pitch in. So I believe we work in an industry where we help people every day get back into work and get back on their feet again. So I'm super excited that I belong to an industry which is really, really helping the economy as well as the country. And as you rightly said, I have spent 17 years in the industry, but I believe I'm extremely fortunate to be part of an organization which is extremely passionate to innovate and at the same time stand behind its customers and our partners whenever they need the most. So whenever I wake up in the morning, I am so excited to come to office because the kind of people we work with always keep on innovating and bringing the new stuff to the market.
So let's begin with understanding what risk actually is and how it can influence a business leader's everyday decision.
So that's a nice question, Arti. So see, risk is a word which has many dimensions to it, right? So let us first understand the definition of the risk. So risk is basically the effect of uncertainties on the objectives. So as business leaders, we are really surrounded by a lot of emerging risk, and there are a lot of things which are beyond our control. But what is in our control is the preparedness to tackle those risks. So I believe as an organization, we have to continuously keep on improving the business continuity plan and keep on monitoring the risks that are surrounding us. See, we all live in a globalized world, whereas wherever any event happening even 5,000 miles away have the possibility of interrupting our business, right? So all the decisions right now have to be taken keeping plan B in mind. So plan B becomes very, very important whenever you are laying down the overall strategy. Due to technological innovations, supply chain innovations, we live in a world where just in time is the key, right? Everything operates on just in time models. But at the same time, it is equally important to be prepared for just in case.
That's a great point, Sunny. Having a plan B is definitely something to keep in mind. So, moving forward, over the past decade, the landscape has evolved significantly. So, from a business perspective, what do you believe? What are the key types of risk organizations face today?
So, are the organizations today face many risks, right? There are financial risk, reputational risk, environmental risk, safety risk, operational risk, regulatory and compliance risk, right? So the list is very, very long. But in today's podcast, we'll talk more from the insurance perspective, that how can we do risk management through insurance, right? While property risk due to fire or maybe natural catastrophes or maybe supply chain disruptions have been a traditional risk that we have been knowing from so many years, but we all have seen how cyber has emerged at the top of the list, right? And this is happening not just because of our dependence on technology, but due to the sheer pace at which digitization is happening. A ransomware or a malware attack has the capability to take down the entire operations of an organization. See, we have seen claims or maybe the events where the entire data of the organization was compromised, which not only resulted in a lot of reputational risk but a lot of financial risk also, right? And if you see, at the same time the entire systems were hijacked, okay, which contributed to big business interruption losses. So cyber is one risk which is at top of everybody's mind today and is really, really becoming a big concern. And if we talk about manufacturing units or manufacturing companies, while they might believe they have less exposure to cyber, but we all have seen the kind of technological innovations which have happened over the past few years, which have really benefited the industry also, right? But with it, there comes a lot of opportunity for the hackers to basically hack into the systems, right? So the adoption of robotics, IoT devices, and more, automation has left a lot of room for the hackers or these guys to come in and create havoc in the systems. And another risk, which is the talk of the town these days, is political risk. We all are seeing what is happening in the Middle East, what's happening in Israel and Palestine, and then the Russia Ukraine war. We all know that tomorrow, if an organization is operating its facilities or has operation in a certain country, and there the regime changes or the rebel groups take over, then there is a serious threat of expropriation or nationalization of assets, right? So organizations have to be completely prepared for this, and they must not have dependence on any single country. So they should have operations spread across the globe, so that if a event happens in that country, then they should not be in a situation where their entire operations had to be called off. So in coming times, I believe the consequences of climate change is going to be a massive, massive risk. So see, we have already started to see the effects of climate change. With the kind of nat cat losses, the frequency has increased drastically over the last few years. And if you see, and then there are risks which were never talked about. In fact, even 2 years back, they are the risk of AI generated misinformation, or you can say adverse use of AI. So organizations have to be extremely careful in using AI. Otherwise, it can bring significant liabilities in the future.
That's a wonderful insight, Sunny. So, our core business revolves around risk mitigation and risk transfer. And the kind of uncertainty we live in, and also the risk which you spoke about. So what according to you can be a robust strategy for an organization to have a risk mitigation model?
So that's a very, very important question, RC. So if you actually see, our client's business is to create value, and our business is to protect the value that they create. So at ICICI Lombard, we strongly believe that along with the core job of giving the right coverages, structuring the right policies for our clients, and also paying claims with super speed, we have an even bigger responsibility of guiding and collaborating with the clients in terms of their risk management journey. So this was the reason that in 2014, around 10 years back, when everybody was focusing just on the core job of issuing policies and paying claims, we at ICICI Lombard created a dedicated risk management department, which is now a 50-member team. So what does this team do? Their core job is to scan the entire horizon where our clients operate in their respective industries and then give them the solutions to of the emerging risks that our clients face. So the job does not only end at giving recommendations, they also see to it that the recommendations are implemented, and at the same time we also have to provide them with solutions which can really help them mitigate the risk. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to change the entire mindset from reactive to preventive. See, I'll give you some examples, right, so that you understand it better and our viewers can understand it better. So we all know traditionally companies have been doing risk inspections, but this department of ours has gone much, much beyond risk inspections, if I have to tell you. So they, for the property risk, they go visit the clients, visit the premises, and do a detailed property loss protection exercise. Okay, which is much above the basic risk inspection, right? And then they do, along with the risks that they feel which are there in the premises, they give the solutions to our client. Right. So we moved from few years back, we moved from value added services to value added products, because we started to see that value added services when we were doing, we were just giving some suggestions. So when we started partnering with the clients, we realized that we also need to give some products which will be installed in the premises of the clients and which will really help them mitigate the risk. So if I were to talk about few, so we even patented a device which is the IoT device, which is called FHIoT. So it basically monitors the pressure level in the pipe and water level in the tank. So the entire hydrant system is monitored 24 into 7. So that tomorrow, in case a fire happens, so these systems which are installed actually work. Because most of the time, from our experience, we saw that whenever the fire happened, there was no water in the tank. So this device on a 24 into 7 monitors the pressure level, and the moment it goes down from the desired level, it sends a SMS and an email alert to n number of people that please fix this up. Similarly, in terms of if I talk about IoT devices, so we have IoT devices installed across the cargo of temperature controlled cargos which move. So we have IoT devices giving information of every second that what is the temperature inside that cargo. So in there are a lot of things. If you talk about mid risk, then we have started providing hotels, restaurants, housing societies. So we started to provide them with fireballs, right? What we observed that whenever fire happens, it's absolute chaos. They can be everybody's in a state of panic, and it's not easy to just pick up those fire extinguishers and start operating them. Who has the time to read them, right? So we gave them a solution of fireballs. So it's just like a football. It looks fancy also, staying on the floors. And whenever there is a fire, we just have to pick it up and throw into the fire. It extinguishes the fires, right? So all these solutions, when clients started appreciating that this company is actually investing in a risk management by giving us these products. So there are 18 to 20 physical products that we have started to provide our clients. So in the first, so since this is only the inaugural episode, so you will see our experts coming in the following episodes and talking about all these in detail. And if we talk about supply chain risk or supply chain disruptions, I believe we have a lot of tools where we handle our clients in terms of their entire transit movement, because there are a lot of valuable transits which move through and they have a lot of hijacking risk, right? So we provide our clients with a lot of IoT solutions which help in stopping the hijacks and entirely tracking the cargo. And at the same time, we also do a detailed transporter level analysis for our clients so that they know which are the transporters they operate with are highly efficient, and where are the hijackings increasing. Is there any specific transporter where the attempt to hijack is always high? So we provide our clients with all those insights. And when we talk of real supply chain disruptions, we all know last year what happened in Suez Canal, right? There was a lot of conflict between Israel and Hamas, which really created a lot of tensions in that area. So the entire transits coming from the Suez Canal, first of all, we all know how important that canal is, right? Otherwise, you have to take a detour of the entire African continent, which not only increases the cost but increases the transit time also. But due to this tension arising in the Red Sea, there was a lot of conflict and a lot of people were worried that whether the transit should be done from this area or not. And to top on it, even aggravating the tensions of our clients, a lot of underwriters globally as well as in India altered the policy conditions midterm. They simply said they would not be providing the war cover, which created a lot of panic across the industry and our clients. But I'm really proud of the fact that at ICICI Lombard, we never altered the terms. We stood by our clients in those times and we continued all the coverages. And also at that, I still remember that time how many calls we used to get, multiple clients from our partners, from our clients that hope we are covered, hope we are covered. We always kept on assuring them that yes, whatever we have underwritten in the policy, we are never going to leave you behind or leave you in the midterm, and we will always stand behind you. If you talk about cyber risk, I believe that along with taking the right coverages and advising our clients on the right clauses and coverages they should take in the policy, along with that, doing a cyber risk assessment for our clients is extremely important. We have a dedicated team which is helping our clients in a big way. They completely scan the entire systems of the clients and check how strong the firewalls are and what are the vulnerabilities to which our clients are exposed, so that tomorrow if a hack happens, then they should be prepared well in advance to tackle those emergencies. Till if a hacking happens or a ransomware attack happens, then we have tie up with few forensic agencies which will not only handle the client during this crisis but also negotiate with the hackers and try to bring the operations back to normalcy. While I spoke about how we can help our clients navigate this risk, but I'll tell you a very heartening thing. See, even in fact, in the large corporates, we are seeing too much awareness on identifying the risk. They really partner with us, they talk to us very, very proactively, and we are completely engaged with them. But I would still suggest or request the mid-sized companies or the SMEs to lay a lot of more focus on these segments, because see, their emerging risks can equally affect the mid-size or SMEs also. So they should also form some risk management committees who are open to take advices from external consultants like us, so that they can also minimize their risks.
That was really nice, Sunny. Some of the risk mitigation tools which you spoke about were really innovative and exciting. So, as we conclude this session, I want to address upon the survey conducted by the Insurance Broker Association of India, where ICICI Lombard was voted as the most recommended insurer across the country. Congratulations to ICICI Lombard. Also, could you share what this recognition means to you and how do you collaborate with the brokers with, for the changing market demands and overcome challenges?
Thanks a ton, Aarti. We are super delighted to have this recognition, and I would a heartfelt thank from my side and the entire organization to the entire broking fraternity in the country for honoring us with this recognition. See, it has not happened overnight. If I would tell you, I would really like to thank our leadership team for being so much accessible to our partners and resolving all their concerns with great transparency. A big shout out to our underwriting and claims team. They have been just a phone call away from our partners. And we all know the kind of investments ICICI Lombard has done in technology, which has actually enabled our partners to serve their customers with great ease and speed, which has actually helped them retaining their business. Right? At ICICI Lombard, feedback is extremely important for us, and our underwriting team has been continuously taking feedback from our partners and co-creating the products to better service our customers and to address their needs. At the same time, claims team have been involving the feedback from the broking community in order to create such processes so that we settle claims with lightning speed. Right. So a big thanks to the entire team. And once again, I would really like to thank the entire booking fraternity. I know it brings a lot of responsibility on us, but we ensure you that we will never let you down.
Thank you, Sunny, for this wonderful session. Now that we come to an end of the session, I would ask the risk managers to take a pause and see what are the biggest risks in their company and do they have a plan to mitigate those. That's a wrap. In the next episode, we will take a deeper dive into global risk tops. We will explore how business can assess and manage risk. So make sure to stay tuned and stay informed and stay resilient. Thank you for listening.